Hello and welcome back to my channel, Alpha Trends. Today in this video, I'll be telling you about it's not looking so good for Dan Bilzerian. So let's start the video. Dan Bilzerian was born on December 7th, 1980 in Tampa, Florida, the son of corporate takeover specialist Paul Bilzerian and Terri Steffen. He is the brother of fellow poker player Adam Bilzerian. He is of Armenian descent from his father. His father was a corporate raider on Wall Street who set up trust funds for both of his sons to live on. Bilzerian claims to have subsequently enrolled at the University of Florida and studied there for 4 years, majoring in business and criminology, but it is unclear if he ever graduated. Dan Bilzerian, the king of Instagram, has a lifestyle as controversial as it is enticing. He's a playboy and a professional poker player. He hangs out with the likes of Floyd Mayweather and DJ Steve Aoki, and he constantly boasts about his 20 million plus Instagram followers, and lots of women. At a glance, Dan Bilzerian seems to have it all. His Instagram paints a picture of a lifestyle that would be displayed next to the definition of hedonism. He always has a bevy of bikini-clad beauties on hand, whether he's at the beach, flying in his private jet, or even laying in bed. His wealth seems massive, affording him the luxury of a life of constant jet-setting and pleasure-seeking. The story goes that he made his fortune off playing high-stakes poker, and it's the story he sticks with regardless of who he speaks to regarding the source of his wealth. But this story has fallen under scrutiny lately from actual poker experts who have criticisms ranging from the fact that Bilzerian just isn't that good of a poker player to the fact that there just isn't as much money to be made in poker as he claims to have made. Those who have tried to trace the actual source of his wealth have discovered that Dan's father, Paul, served prison time for crimes associated with his activities as a corporate raider. Though he was ordered to pay $62 million in civil judgment for securities fraud, Paul Bilzerian only paid $3.7 million. As to the whereabouts of the rest of his fortune, that remains a mystery, but it's not a far leap of the imagination to assume that he utilized offshore and domestic trusts to protect any remaining assets for his family. Essentially, Dan Bilzerian is a trustafarian, but given the outcome of his own business ventures, he's not a very smart one. In addition to his trust fund, Bilzerian has been using his company, Ignite International Brands Ltd, as something of a personal treasure trove. The company reported a loss of $67 million last year, which is no surprise, given that company money was being used to fund Bilzerian's lavish lifestyle, including expenses for the $200,000 monthly rent payment on his mansion that he claimed to own, his flights, his yachts, and the models hanging off his arm in every photo. Lawsuits are coming. There seems to be a lot of online personalities gleefully covering Bilzerian's deception. Perhaps it's because they can't stand him as a person. Perhaps it's to throw it in his followers' faces. But I don't think it matters to those who revere Dan where exactly he got his wealth. I don't think it would matter if he was outed as a con in the courtroom tomorrow. The lie behind how his fortune was made was a negligible part of his appeal to the masses. The source of his money doesn't matter as much as the illusion that he sold. The truth doesn't matter as long as this illusion is still standing strong. And if Dan is a master at anything, it's at building this illusion for men, perhaps even for women. A lot of commentators who have participated in covering Bilzerian's likely imminent demise remark that Bilzerian lives a life dreamed of by teenage boys, as if there aren't also hordes of adult men who would jump at the chance to live this kind of life. It seems disingenuous to say that the system of values that catapulted Bilzerian to stardom begins and ends in teenagehood. That simply cannot be the case. We've seen the same folly with Billie McFarland, who is infamous for throwing the failed Fyre Festival. He likewise squandered his time and money on beautiful women and outrageous parties while there was a music festival to be planned. And he was willing to coming people to keep the mechanisms that gave Dan Bilzerian the notoriety and recognition he enjoyed so much comes from his fans and their need for illusion. His wealth and lifestyle were only vehicles with which to reach them. Even if he were to go to prison or lose his fortune, the system of values upon which he was built up as a giant will remain and someone else will take his place. Perhaps he won't fall out of the disfavor at all. Instead, he'll integrate his legal troubles into his image as a reckless playboy, an image that many people have grown to admire. Is Dan Bilzerian a liar? Most likely, but I think it's telling of a larger problem in our society that the lies ultimately will not matter, enrolling in his way of life. If you enjoyed this video and you want to watch more of our videos, then leave a like, and if you are new, then subscribe. What do you think of Dan Bilzerian? Let us know in the comment section below, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.